Hello everyone, Solaison here and welcome to stage 15 of our Tour de France playthrough on the Tour de France 2026 game and the second straight mountain stage of this tour. It's the final stage of the second week and here's how the general classification looks going into it. Tadej Pogacar 7 seconds ahead of Juan Ayuso in second. Remco Evenepoel is third at 1 minute and 18 seconds. Jonas Vingegaard in fourth, just behind the Belgian and looking to move up today. And he might be able to do that on today's stage because compared to the previous one, the climbs beforehand aren't as difficult, but the final climb to Plateau de Solaison absolutely is. Or category, 188 kilometers total. This could be a bloodbath.
Hello everyone. A climb from many years back makes an appearance again today. The ascent of the Salève hasn't been used since 1992, and the last 5 kilometers at nearly 11% could severely thin out the peloton even before the Plateau de Solaison climb. It promises to be a key and spectacular section that should propel the best climbers to the front of the race.
Well, Matthias Vacek started the attacking for Lidl-Trek, and we've got 2 other riders in this leading group of 14 at the moment. There is a group trying to make their way across that includes the likes of Sepp Kuss, but we are focusing on King of the Mountains points with Matthias Skjelmose. We've got Mads Pedersen in here as well. We'll be switching to him for the intermediate sprint to try and take maximum points there and retain our hold on the green jersey because Tadej Pogacar is getting closer and closer, but we need to focus on this first climb of the day because it does flatten off, and that is not really the terrain that Skjelmose likes, especially with Romain Grégoire in this group. He could pose a threat, and he is trying to come around us here. Grégoire to the line, but Skjelmose just about gets there. Clearly not content with his stage win on stage 14, Tobias Harland Johannesson is proving to be the biggest competitor to Matthias Skjelmose in the King of the Mountains classification. We've got Vacek moving us up, ready for the second climb of the day. Second category this one, so 5 points to be given out at the top. And we are looking to take all 5 and really put the knife in and twist it for our King of the Mountains hopes. Forward we come with Vacek, although Vacek has been caught behind Lennart van Eetveld, and it is another brilliant group of talents. This time we've gone a level up from the previous stage, where we had the sort of outsiders like Caruso and Johannesson. This time the man on our right, Jai Hindley, is in this move, as is Matteo Jorgensen, but one other rider is in this group who is a real threat. And the groups have merged, so it is 22 riders. We're going for the line, and Grégoire might just come around us, but we both run out of steam. And we take the 5 points, ahead of Romain Grégoire, with Hindley in third. Intermediate sprint time then, and Mads Pedersen is our man. We can go over the rest of this group in due course, but we've got some good riders in this group, the likes of Kwiatkowski. Kanter is going to be our main rival for this intermediate sprint. The Astana rider has made it over those first 2 climbs of the day. We did try, actually, and get Derek G up the road, but it ended up being a bit of a chasse patate, so I don't know how badly he will be affected by that move solo trying to bridge across. We pretty much immediately took him back to the peloton when we knew it wasn't going to happen, but there's Kanter just drifting off to our right, and he will be our main rival in this sprint. But, as I was saying, lots of good riders in this breakaway. We've got the talent that we've had in previous stages, the likes of Ben O'Connor, Tobias Harland Johannesson, but this time the big guns have joined us. Sepp Kuss, Matteo Jorgensen, Jai Hindley, and Florian Lipovitz. As we go for the sprint, we should be able to beat those guys fairly easily. Jorgensen is giving us a hard time on our wheel, but gets no further than that. And actually, the amount of riders that have ended up between Max Kanter and Mads Pedersen has really helped that green jersey classification for him. I think we only need to worry about Tadej Pogacar now, but you can see on the top right, plenty of good riders in this group. Stora, Valentin Paris-Pantra, but Florian Lipovitz, I think, will be the main threat in this breakaway once we get to the final climbs. Hindley and Lipovic for Bora in this group then, and it's a group that is already being torn apart on the early climbs. This is the next one, 5 minutes and 10 seconds is the gap to the yellow jersey group, which is already only 44 riders. Vacek has gone, as have a couple of other flat domestiques, the likes of Cantor and Stora, which is a surprise actually that he's been dropped, because he would be a good climber in this group, you'd think. But either way, the pace is being set, and it's an infernal pace by Sepp Kuss. We're going to try and get around him. We've not got much energy left. We do have our gels that we are saving, but we are going to try and get to the line around Matteo Jorgensen and Johannesson, and we get across the line for 10 points there with Matthias Skjelmose. Now we can go down the descent, and we have Mads Pedersen in a group a long way behind, but I think he can get back because he hasn't had his gel yet, and he could be very useful in the valley to try and bring this gap further out. Next climb looks like it might be ours too, because nobody is really going for it too hard. We've left it late, but we've crossed the line in first position, so more points for Skjelmose and a counter-attack off the front. Right at the foot of the final climb then, we've switched to Juan Ayuso, and we've switched to him because there is an attack from the peloton, and Jonas Vingegaard has sparked it from a long way out. UAE still have plenty of domestiques to try to chase him down, but he has certainly caught Tadej Pogacar very flat-footed. Remco Evenepoel is electing to go his own tempo. He's not following the pace set by the yellow jerseys team, and perhaps that's because he's got no teammates around him, because Jai Hindley is up front at the moment with Florian Lipovic and Romain Gregoire in the leading group. Gregoire doing quite well to hold on in this early portion of the climb, but Remco dropped and Jonas Vingegaard attacking, and now Tadej Pogacar is going clear with Isaac Del Toro, and it's up to Decathlon CMA CGM to try and bring this one back. And they are trying to do so, but in the end, you're against Tadej Pogacar, and Jonas Vingegaard is being chased by the yellow jersey. Hindley is now on his own at the front of the race. 8 kilometres to go. We've got Skjelmose and Pedersen in a group of 6 behind, including Matteo Jorgensen and Florian Lipovic in that group as well. But Aurélien Paris-Pantra versus Pogacar is not moving the needle. Aurélien Paris-Pantra has finished his turn, and now it is the turn of Mathieu Riccatello at the front of this group. 6 kilometres to go. 3 minutes separate Jai Hindley from the yellow jersey of Tadej Pogacar, who is chasing Jonas Vingegaard as well. Vingegaard still trying to gain time on Pogacar, but he will certainly be gaining lots of time on all of the riders below us. Remco Evenepoel has been dropped from this group, and looks like he might just be out of it, as Skjelmose and Pedersen have also been dropped from the breakaway, so it is only the best riders now towards the forefront. Matteo Jorgensen has now joined up with the leading group, but he's dragged Florian Lipovic with him, so with 3.5 kilometres to go of this climb, 2 Red Bull Bora-Hansgrohe riders are at the front. We are sticking to the wheel of Seixas like glue, and now Mathieu Riccatello has gone. It is up to Seixas alone to try and limit the damage to Tadej Pogacar. We're going to sit on and hopefully get behind Carapaz, but he's not really abiding for the moment, and we look in serious trouble. If Juan Ayuso is running out of energy, this leading trio must be all out of gas. 2 Red Bull Bora-Hansgrohe riders and a Visma Lease-A-Bike rider. It's Jorgensen, Lipovic and Hindley at the front. Ben O'Connor has been dropped and is the only man now in front of Jonas Vingegaard that is not right at the front of the race. And Vingegaard out of the saddle and distancing Pogacar for the moment, but the yellow jersey is doing a time trial of his own to try and get to the Danish rider, who has perhaps caught him by surprise by going slightly early on this final climb. Pogacar distances Ben O'Connor now, and it's back to the 3 at the front. Matteo Jorgensen must be thinking about dropping back now for Jonas Vingegaard, or does he want the stage win and saving Vingegaard's tour, at least by getting a stage win for the team if they don't win the GC? Vingegaard, though, is doing his own effort. He's in his own world, and at the moment is continuing to hold that gap to Tadej Pogacar. He does settle down on the saddle. Is that a little sign of weakness for Jonas Vingegaard? As the leading group goes under 1 kilometre to go, and they will soon be sprinting it out for the stage win. I highly doubt that Matteo Jorgensen can take this, but Red Bull Bora-Hansgrohe have not attacked him. They have trusted Jai Hindley and Florian Lipovic to outsprint Matteo Jorgensen, and off they go. They launch it from afar. Hindley at the front at the moment, Lipovic following in the wheel. It's Hindley and Lipovic that cross the line together. Hindley just about on the bike throw wins it. Lipovic second, Jorgensen will finish third, and Jonas Vingegaard crosses the line in fourth with Pogacar, losing time to the Dane. Paul Seixas will be the rider that crosses the line behind Pogacar, and the third best GC rider on the road, but Remco Evenepoel has paced this one beautifully, limited the losses, and will cross the line fourth in GC, just behind Seixas now, and now we wait for Juan Ayuso, who might be the next GC rider to come across the line. A couple of breakaway stragglers before him, Tobias Harland Johannesson included. And now here is Ayuso coming up towards the line, the big loser of the day. Started the day 7 seconds down on Pogacar, will be much further down on the yellow jersey by the time today finishes, with Carapaz just behind him. A win for Red Bull Bora-Hansgrohe then, just like in real life, but not with Remco Evenepoel. Jai Hindley is the man that takes victory and was almost robbed on the line by Florian Lipovic, but they both rode away from Visma Lease-A-Bike's Matteo Jorgensen to take the win. He ends up finishing third on the stage, but in more pressing news, we have lost the white jersey. Paul Seixas now wears that distinctive jersey, and we drop into second place in that classification. So that is the aim now, get back the white jersey and perhaps try and salvage a podium from our position, because we finished 10th on the stage, losing 4 minutes and 26 seconds on Jai Hindley, but Tadej Pogacar is 51 seconds behind the Australian as well. He's in 5th. Jonas Vingegaard takes just under 20 seconds on Pogacar on the road, with Paul Seixas best of the rest. But that -1 really cost us today. Remco Evenepoel finishes the stage in 7th, Richard Carapaz in 11th, and the time gaps are on screen. And then when we flick to the GC, you can see that Tadej Pogacar still leads the way, but Jonas Vingegaard is now into second place, 1 minute and 17 seconds behind the Slovenian, and with the way he's going, he might be able to catch him in this third week. This tour is absolutely still on. Remco Evenepoel retains third place, with Paul Seixas up to 4th, overtaking Ayuso, but we are only 30 seconds behind the Frenchman. So in the time trial, we could well be taking that white jersey back, but that will be in the next video. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, and stay safe, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.